Hello and welcome to Subterrain, a indie, well, from what I understand, it is an indie horror top-down shooter with more of a survival aspect than anything. And it's based on a Mars colony. It is a Mars colony. But we're going to have a new game here. I'm going to go on normal. Now, technically, hardcore is the normal, but I kind of prefer normal just because it's probably easier for a Let's Play. I would normally skip the intro, but since this is a Let's Play slash recorded episode, I want to show the first, section of it. So we're going to watch that. And I'm going to probably go for slot 2 just because slot 1 is, as you can see, I haven't really been playing it much. I've been playing it, this is my second try.
The fourth planet in the solar system, Mars. Humanity's first colony on Mars, MPO. MPO is a new hope for thousands of people seeking a fresh start. I didn't get one, though. For over 15 months, I've been confined in MPO's prison, Block B05, Cell 6. My name is, well, was Dr. Albert West. It's just West now, at least to the guards. A lab accident granted me a new title, Murderer. I was thrown in here right after. That's all in the past. I've got worse problems now. My rations have run out. The guards are missing. Emergency power's still on. I've been stuck in here for a week. I still can't figure out what happened. When this began, my cell was never open for the day's morning head count. After several hours, my tray slot opened up. It was the guard, Hank. His eyes were strange. I could tell something horrible was going on. There will be a transfer today. Be ready at 1700 hours. And take this. It'll be your only meal today. I heard shuffling and whispering through the slot. I couldn't make out what they were saying. My tray slot closed abruptly without another word. A prisoner transfer? And what was going on with Hank's eyes? For a brief moment, I had forgotten I was hungry at all. A siren went off.
Attention, all prisoners. Cells will be opened one at a time. Follow the guards and obey their instructions. Prisoners that fail to comply will be executed on the spot. Cell block B05 is first.
I heard the unmistakable rumble of cell doors opening through the walls.
Cell 1. Cell 2. Cell 3. Cell 4. Cell 5.
Next was my cell. I was ready to get out of here.
Cell 6.
Suddenly, darkness. It was completely silent. I peeked through the gap in the door, but the hall was empty. The guards were gone. Emergency power finally kicked in. The air duct's fans started spinning again, but the door didn't budge. I was stuck. I've tried yelling, pounding, clanking my can. No one's coming. My last resort is the air duct. The fan's barely spinning. Maybe it's safe to pass through by now. I don't have a choice. I can't hold on for much longer. I have to survive. If only to see her one more time.
And that was a fun little intro. There's going to be a few basic journal updates there, the tutorials, and I'll mostly be reading these off. There are some that might be a little too long to read, and unfortunately I'm very poor at reading things, or I read them too fast in my head. God, how long have I been here? Been in here? It must have been a days since I last eaten. My head feels like it's about to pop, and my tongue feels like a dried hunk of jerky. Okay. I can barely stand, but I've got to drag myself up one more time. I can't let it end here. I've got to at least try. Obviously, the door is not something I could pry open, but by myself in this state, the vent is the only option at this time. At this point, there are circulation fans slowing down, so there's a chance that the anti-tampering measures don't have enough juice to be an issue anymore. Should be easy enough to force the vent open if I'm not getting shocked. Better get moving. If the emergency power fails, I'll be dead before I can even figure out what's going on. Find this. Gotta move around, press F for flashlight. I have a few things that are remapped. Yes, these are just the basic default keys. From what I understand, I have everything else. You can do Q, which will show any highlightable, or will highlight any usable materials. I don't really need this. You can open this up with E. I have this. Let's go. Now I've played like the first few parts of this, I guess, tutorial. This is the tutorial level. The prison is entirely a tutorial. It's not that interesting, but there are some spots of combat. I know, Q to scan. It's just basically saying, hey, yeah, scan the area. Now, take all items. I actually won't be eating early on. At least not too quickly. And you can actually move through here. There's not going to be much in the way of interesting things. The game is partially random generated. Like, this wasn't here at any given time. Oh, okay. Ground items, yes. Basically, if you go to an item on the ground, you can pick it up. Unfortunately, I can't pick that up, and I'm not too much of in a hurry for that. And nothing there. You can go through other vents to go into parts of the, to other cells that are sealed off. There's our buddy Hank. He's very unfortunate to be like that. We're going to take this bag. This is our inventory. We're actually going to go back and take all the items that we found there. Now, there's going to be a bunch of other bags that are going to pop up in, I want this. Take all items. And we'll take this as well. And you can actually open your inventory by using the activation key or the use key. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to put the food and materials like that. I want to keep my water in here, and in this case I'm probably going to go with spaghetti, just because it's a little bit easier, and there's actually a few of those in there. Right now, I think we have, 40-something thirst. We're just going to drink this. Oh, not drink. I have to double click. Yes, a can of beer. Hooray, everyone's happy. Time does pass when you're in an inventory, but not when it's paused. You could pause the game by pressing escape or going into a journal. Yeah, you always want to check this stuff, even if there's not much. I would like to go through here. Right here. This should be one of the ones that's sealed off. Overall, in the first sections of this game, the prison, there's very little threat. So you shouldn't be too concerned about kind of moving around. You can occasionally find something, but there's only one creature there's two creatures in the tutorial that I know exist. And each one of these is separate, so the vents are an interesting place to kind of move around. There's very few areas that actually use this vent system, unfortunately. Oh. Apparently, we had already been there. Now, we find some other prisoners that were very unfortunate not to make it. And we're going to go down here. This is a security room. These are inventories. You can actually press Q to show these, but this is the console. This will usually have some sort of information. I actually want to use that immediately. And for this, we want to take the baton, put it there, and take that hacked card. Now, eventually you're going to be able to get other cards to go back into restricted areas. But the game has specifically only a handful. Now, you want to understand this might have something that spawns in this area, but overall it shouldn't. I've never seen any creature in it, but I've heard that they occasionally do put a monster or two in here. You just want to take a quick look. For the most part, the tutorial area, I think it might be only on a higher difficulty that there's actually something in there. You can see items on the ground. We're going to take all that. Look around. You can drink water from these, which are like dehumidifiers. And we're not too interested in that. We actually want to go in there, but we want to go in here first. This is another area that potentially has some items, and this game is primarily about resource managing, so everything's pretty important around here. Okay, we should be good. I don't see anything else here. Now, we're going to have our first combat in this room. You can actually see that there's a guy over there, or you could see him. He's right there. He's what's known as a suited zombie, or just like a standard zombie. Or a mutant in this case. They're technically not zombies, but they are mutants. What I would suggest is actually opening both these, just in case you're not used to the combat. There is a... You want to get him from behind. If you can. If you can't, we'll just have to fight him. You can press space to jump back. Overall, this isn't too bad of a play so far. I would normally suggest, what is it? Saving before you fight him, if you can. Like I have the option right now to just save randomly. And I'm going to be doing that for the most part. Very rarely, or at least in areas that I know I have a high chance of death. Now we want to go in here. Oh, it's empty. It isn't usually empty, but I guess this time it was. Let's go in here. Oh, we actually got a pistol this time. This is randomized, so you won't you're not guaranteed a lot of stuff. I actually got a suit in there the second time. We want to put this for shifting. Actually, I have the mapping to that linked to my scroll bar. I can't remember if that was changed or if that was something else. There we go. Overall, we shouldn't face many more creatures. Did I ever get a second card? Go into this key. Nope. Now you can return to those areas beforehand in the that main room. And from what I understand, creatures don't respawn immediately. They have some sort of leaving this place. I made it to the administrative level of the prison, but I haven't seen a single person, well, no one that's still breathing anyway. The administrative area is where the visitation and clerical work of the prison takes place. But it's also the main entrance to the prison. I was carted in here by the tram. I wonder if it's still operational. I might want to check out the oxygen and thermal regulation systems while I'm here, too. Chances are I need to know what those look like if I ever need to do repairs. From the look of this place, though, all hell's broken loose. I don't think there will be any guards in here, considering what I've seen so far. Hopefully there's still a weapon lying around here or somewhere in case whatever's done this is still lurking around. I hope security measures aren't online anymore. Basically, he's saying he's breaking free of this, and everything's gone to... it's gone to a very unpleasant place. Now, we shouldn't have to fight too much. There is, I think, one more creature in this area that I know of, but occasionally you can get the random spawn. This is random generated, but not like Minecraft or anything like that, where it generates new areas. From what I understand, these maps are pretty static. I think they're like the outlying areas might be less static, but from what I understand, the base map is static. It's just the items are randomized and creatures, I think, respawn, or if they do, it's very minimally. Now this is just basically saying, hey, this is energy. You want to keep energy high. And this is a power pack. Power packs are pretty important. They're the thing that you want to use. But we actually want to go with that. Take all items. We're just going to skip through here. Oh, 2 beacons. That's actually incredible because I'm surprised that we actually got that. The items themselves are randomized, but not too much. And what we do want to do is we want to go here and see this 0% power pack. We want to have that one charged as well. And it's going to charge slightly slower over time. This does regenerate because it's getting energy from the actual generator, or the primary generator of the facility. Ah. Okay. Yeah, that was random. No, this wasn't random. This is the creature that I was thinking about. Oh. I pressed right mouse button, which is shield. This protects you from injury, and yeah. There shouldn't be another creature in here, but I completely forgot that this was the actual place. I just wasn't thinking about it, and I saw him out of the corner of my eye. You can't actually see. You have peripheral vision, similar to, what is it? What is that game called? I played it often. I can't remember what for some reason. Project Zomboid. There we go. I was drawing a complete blank. Now, the flashlight does drain energy when it's in use. That's one of the downsides of the actual flashlight compared to the little glow stick. The glow stick is completely free. And here they're actually going to show you how to use the shield. Yes, the shield. Hold right mouse button. Immediately after I saw him, I pressed right click, and that was actually showing you the area where you would normally fight him. Yeah, my instinct immediately after I saw him was press right mouse button until I can actually locate and properly combat him. Now this is a side bag. We already currently have the side bag, but it's actually beneficial to take those. And you'll see why in a bit when we actually get to places where we need to basically drop off more equipment. Yeah, keep an eye out. These are basically the undead, but they're not technically undead. And you'll get an understanding for what it is later on, but for now we don't need anything that's rotten. We want these, however, as they're relatively expensive for the actual amount of material in them. So you can right click to take things. I'm not too concerned about taking a lot of just random junk. But yeah, you shouldn't let up your guard when you're actually playing this, because it's relatively... In fact, I'm just going to take everything for now. I'll just remove it as needed. The tutorial area tends to be rather safe overall, so I'm not too concerned about like running through this rather quickly. But you'll see later that running through an area is relatively suicidal. One other thing is, in the really early parts of the tutorial, you actually learned that you can move things. Now this does drain, or this does cause fatigue slightly faster, but we're not too concerned about that just yet. We do need to find food, which is what I found just now. We want to take those for disassembling. This is the primary storage crates of your stuff. Large towel. Let's take all items. Medical supplies, those are really important. And let's right click, move. And you can actually use the environment against creatures. Unfortunately, I didn't think about that when I was fighting that one creature. There we go. Vending machines. These usually have some sort of drink with them, and we want to use that to our advantage as well. This is where you learn about sleeping. Yep, sleep. Basically you just sleep. You want to make sure that the room, however, is relatively safe before you sleep. For obvious reasons, if you get eaten in your sleep, that's not a good sign. Now this is another little side bag. You want to take that. Mattress covers. Most things in here are actually relatively junk, so I'll be depositing them and never returning for them. Oh, this is a standard colonist suit. I was actually not expecting to get that early on. We're not actually going to do anything with that, so that's just banished for now. Oh, I didn't check this. Rotten food scraps, we don't want to eat those. That will cause contamination. Contamination is, of course, relatively dangerous. Now, in this game, there are toilets. You actually need to use the bathroom. From what I understand, bathrooms don't tend to be very dangerous overall, but of course, there's the game's a little bit random in that things can spawn where you least expect it. And here's the other side of that room. Hooray! Visiting. Visiting. And unfortunately, there's nothing on those counters. I kind of wish there was, but as you can see... Oh! I've actually tried that on multiple times, and I've never found any of these to be openable. I must have either not been close enough, or something. But that's why you want to do, you want to press that button every once in a while. Make sure that you actually get what you want. Now we are on somewhat of a time limit. We're not actually technically on a time limit. We're just more concerned with survival at this point. I do want to go back there because loot in this game tends to be rather rare in certain areas, and one thing we can't really pass up is a lot of free stuff. From what I understand, things can spawn, and we're actually at the end of the episode. I wasn't expecting that. I'll see you guys in the next episode. By the end of the next episode, we're probably going to start work on the next area. Oh yeah, and I actually forgot to pick up all those infected items. We actually need those for something later. Yeah, these ones I can't pick up. I must have tried that. Yeah, you can't pick up anything in these ones. I must have just saw those and assumed that you can't get anything from them. Okay. So I'll see you guys in the next episode. If you enjoyed watching, like and subscribe for more. Have a nice day. I'll see you guys in the next episode of Subterrain. Bye. Thank you for watching. For more content, check out my channel. If you wish to support my channel, check out my Patreon. Also, don't forget to follow me on Twitter for updates.